welcome to week 3 of the Tarot Readathon. So if you are not caught up on my vlogs, I am currently participating in the Tarot Readathon, which is hosted by Daijah from Daijah's Book World and Noelle from Noelle Sunday. I will leave them linked down below if you are interested. By the time this goes up, the readathon will probably either be almost finished or completely finished, but I still encourage you to check it out, and then maybe you can join in next year, because this is, I believe, the 5th year this readathon has been running, and it's just one of my favorite things. I find it so much fun. So yeah, so welcome. If you have been watching my Tarot Readathon vlog so far, you will know that I am currently in the middle of One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I am now currently working on my second 3-card spread for the readathon. So this was for King of Pentacles, which is to read a book from a popular, well-established author. Obviously, Taylor Jenkins Reid is a very popular and well-established author, and the reason I picked this one up is because for another reading challenge I'm doing, which is Her Kid, the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, hosted by Stephanie from QWERTY, that ends at the beginning of July, and version 3 will be starting right after that. And one of the prompts was to read a book for each year of the last 10 years. I realized that the only book I was missing was from 2016, so I figured I might as well complete that prompt, even though I'm not going to complete the whole reading challenge. That would be impossible, but to get another prompt done I thought would feel good, so I decided to pick something from 2016. And I didn't think this would be queer, but it turns out there is a side character in this book who is bisexual, so I love surprising queer rep during Pride Month. But this book has obviously been around a long time, but if you don't know, this follows Emma, who ends up marrying her high school sweetheart. They are married for a year until her husband Jesse is, what does he do again? He's a production assistant on nature documentaries. I don't know why I keep forgetting that, but he ends up going on what's the word? I have assignment. He goes on assignment to Alaska, but his helicopter goes down and he is reported missing, and then he is assumed dead because no one has heard from him or anyone from the helicopter in many months. So Emma assumes that her husband is gone. She goes through a grieving period, and then a few years later she ends up reconnecting from another friend from high school, and they start a relationship. They end up getting engaged, and then lo and behold, Jesse comes back. He is alive after all these years, and so now Emma has a husband and a fiance, and she has to choose one of them. And so this book, I've been intrigued by this for so long. I remember buying this even before I started my booktube channel, because I just want to know, like, who's she gonna pick? Like, what would you do in that situation? As I'm reading this, it is very clear who I would pick, and I really hope she picks the same person that I want her to pick, because there's just one option that seems way better than the other, in my opinion. And like, I know this is kind of an impossible situation, but it's just the way the husband reacts to coming back and finding out that she's engaged versus her fiance reacting to her husband coming back. The way that they both react, to me, it's like really obvious who she should choose, because in my opinion, one of them reacts in a much healthier way and a much caring way than the other one does. But anyways, so I am now like 200 pages into this. I'm on page 206. I'm kind of wondering if I can maybe just finish this tonight, because I wouldn't say like this is the best book ever. I definitely see like Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I can definitely see Taylor Jenkins Reid in this writing, obviously because she wrote it, but like, this was 10 years ago. I've read some of her more recent works, and I think her writing has gotten a lot stronger since then. I think she writes characters so well, but like the actual writing itself, I feel like is just not really working for me. Like, there's some lines that I'm like, this is so unnecessary, and it's just, it is nice to see like, okay, she grew a lot from this, but like reading this right now, I'm kind of like, I don't know, it's not my favorite, but the story I'm very interested in, because I really just want to see who she ends up picking, what ends up happening. So I kind of want to see if I can finish this tonight. It is 8 o'clock, a bit after 8 o'clock, so I might just spend the rest of the evening reading maybe. It is Tuesday today, by the way. I should mention I did not start this vlog yesterday. Yesterday was not a good day at all. I had to work late yesterday and it wasn't good. Work has been so hard. I think I talked about it a bit in last week's vlog, but work has just been a lot recently and it's been really hard, but better days are ahead. I see the light at the end of the tunnel, so that should be good. And also the rest of this week should be fine. It was really just yesterday that was a lot. But anyways, I was so tired. I did not feel like starting this vlog, so we're starting it now. And I did have the day off today, but I had therapy and then we did groceries and we took Lazo out, and then I've just been hanging out with Sean a bit. But I think I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening reading. I am also still listening to Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. I think that's the author's name. And this was from my first 3-card spread for the prompt, oh yeah, 7 of Swords, to read a book with a morally gray main character or anti-hero. And this book I'm still loving. I'm almost done it. I'll definitely be finishing it in this vlog, and I'm just loving this book. I find the writing is so good and smart, and I really like how the author is presenting this theme of like a man can be evil, but the worst thing a woman can be is unlikable, you know? Like, it's acceptable for a man to be evil, but not for a woman to be unlikable. That's like the thesis I'm getting from this book. I think it's just really good. I really can't wait to see where it's going. I feel like, do I need to explain what this is about? This book is literally everywhere. I think it's the most popular book of this year. But if you don't know, it's about a woman named Natalie who is a trad wife influencer. She lives on a farm with her husband and her like 5 kids or 6 kids, and she films her whole life and posts it online. She has like 1 million followers or something. And then she wakes up one day and she's transported back to like the 1800s, where she is living on a real farm and having to do like the real work of a farm and be an actual traditional wife, and she's realizing how hard it is. So going into this book, I heard a lot of people talking about how unlikable the main character is. And it's true, she's not the most likable person, but you learn a lot about her backstory and why she kind of is the way that she is, and you learn about the people around her, specifically her husband. And you know, I think I can give her a bit of grace, to be honest. Like, she's definitely unlikable, but like some of the people that are around her, yeah. Like, honestly, this reads, I saw a lot of people call this book funny, and like it is, like sometimes I laugh, but more because like I can't believe what I'm reading. Like, some of it is so horrific almost. It almost reads like a horror novel. So anyways, I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding it very interesting, and I think the writing is so good. And I think this is a debut. I might be wrong, but I think this is a debut. And if that's true, that is extremely impressive to me. But I am gonna be listening to that and finishing that probably in the next few days, maybe even tomorrow. I'm not sure. But for now, I'm gonna go read this, maybe read the rest of it, we'll see. I don't know, I haven't picked books for the other prompts I pulled yet, so we'll decide that together, I guess. But yeah, welcome to the vlog, and let's go read, I guess. Spoken with you since I started this vlog a few days ago. So today is Friday. It's been, I mean, it hasn't been so much an eventful week. I've just been so tired lately because of work and everything that I haven't felt like talking to the camera much. But today we had a wonderful day off. Me and Sean basically did nothing all day. Well, I mean, I edited last week's vlog, so I didn't do nothing, but I just sat on the couch editing last week's vlog. He played video games all day. It was a great day. I mean, it's not over yet. It's only 5:30, but I figured I should update you because I have a few reading updates. So first of all, I did finish One True Loves the other night. What day was that? I think it was Wednesday. When did I start this vlog? Actually, I do think it was Tuesday. I think I finished this after filming that first clip. But anyways, I finished this is the important thing. And I really liked it. I mean, I don't really have anything new to say about it. It is definitely a compelling story and you get attached to these characters and you want to know who she's gonna pick by the end of the book. I won't say anything because, I mean, I know I haven't said who I was rooting for, but I still don't want to say anything just in case. I feel like this was definitely like a good read, but it's definitely not my favorite of Taylor Jenkins Reid's. Jenkins Reid's, oh my god. Anyways, it's not my favorite of hers. I feel like her writing has improved a lot since this book, and I think she has really found her niche in the like historical fiction genre, even though like I think Malibu Rising is in the 90s or something, so the fact that that's historical is crazy. But I think, yeah, I think her books like Daisy Jones and Atmosphere are my favorite books by her, and I think she's really found her stride writing in that genre. I did really like this. I think I gave it 3.5. I'm happy I finally read it because it has been on my TBR. It's one of the books that has been on my TBR for the longest, so happy I finally read this. But the book I really want to talk about is Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. I don't know why I have so much trouble. It's all the k sounds. Carol Claire Burke. Anyways, I did actually finish that as well. I finished it Wednesday after work. I was listening to the audiobook when I got home from work and I had maybe like 10% left and I was like, I need to see how this ends. And I think the clip before this is me reacting to the ending, but the ending was crazy and like it definitely surprised me, but not in a way, like it surprised me, but it also made a lot of sense when you kind of find out what's going on. But also there's a lot of questions left unanswered, and I think that is exactly how this book should have ended, because you're in Natalie's head the whole time and she is definitely not a reliable narrator and she goes through a lot. She goes through a lot in this book, and like I don't know if I've made this clear, so I feel like I need to make it clear, because I've said I feel like I keep saying like people can forgive a man who does evil things, but they cannot forgive an unlikable woman, like when a woman is unlikable. And I feel like now that I finished the book, I want to make it clear that I don't think Natalie is a good person. She does a lot of things in this book that are pretty horrible. That were pretty horrible, to be honest. So like me saying that, I don't want it to sound like I'm just saying like, oh, she's just annoying and that's it. Like, no, she does some pretty horrible things. However, I mean, being in her head this whole book and getting her backstory and seeing how she got to this point, I feel like that adds so much context to who she is as a person and her behavior. And I saw this interview that the author was doing where I can't remember exactly what the question was, but she was saying how shows like Breaking Bad are so popular. I mean, that was like one of the most beloved shows of the 2010s, I think was when it aired. And like Walter, what's his name? Walter White. Like his character, I've only watched some of Breaking Bad. I've seen maybe like 2 seasons. I had to stop because it was it was too much for me. But I feel like I've seen enough to be able to say that like Walter White is not a good person, you know? Like he does some pretty horrible things in that show, but he's still kind of like, he's the anti-hero and you're still in a way rooting for him, like because he's the show, you know, he's the one you're following and you want better for him. It also reminds me a little bit of BoJack Horseman. Like BoJack is not a good person, a good horse if you will, but you're still like, you want better for him because you can see the good in him and you can see him trying, and then he just keeps doing bad things over and over again. So it makes me think of that, how shows like that are so popular when you have a male main character at the forefront and they're not good people, they're doing some pretty horrible things, but you get to know them so deeply that you want to root for them and you want them to figure things out and kind of turn from the dark side in a way. And so, oh yeah, it was she was responding to people saying this book is like rage bait because you're supposed to be angry with Natalie and you're supposed to not agree with her choices, and she compares it to like in Breaking Bad, like no one was calling that show rage bait. If I can find the video I'm talking about, I'll leave it linked down below because I don't know if I'm explaining it well. But all that to say is I find it very interesting that we get this female character who is not likable, who makes some horrible decisions. But if this book, like if her husband was the main character, I mean, that would be pretty boring, to be honest. But if her husband was the main character, like would people react to this book differently? I don't know. So I thought it was just a very interesting look at just women, you know? And also just the whole idea of posting your whole life online and posting your family and your children online. And I feel like there's so much I could say, and I don't know how to say everything I want to say, and I definitely don't want to give any spoilers. But this book, like, I finished it, and it's just one of those books that you just have to think about for a while. And there's things that I still keep thinking about, and I'm like, oh yeah, what about this? And then it's definitely one of those books that I want to reread. I want to get a physical copy, and I want to reread it and see like all the hints and see stuff I missed, because I'm sure listening to the audiobook I missed some things. So all that to say, I gave it 5 stars. I loved this book so much. I thought it was brilliant, honestly. And I know that's basic because everyone is obsessed with this book. This is the biggest book right now. But sometimes books get really popular because they're really good, in my opinion. And I know that soon we're gonna start seeing people being like, Yesteryear is actually the worst book of the year, or here's 10 reasons why Yesteryear is the worst book of the year and you're stupid for liking it. Like, I'm waiting to start seeing those like video essays and stuff. And I don't mean like, if you read this and you didn't really like it, like, obviously that's fine, that's your opinion. I'm talking about the people who are gonna be like, actually, here's something you didn't notice about Yesteryear that makes it the worst book of all time. Like, there's always those people that think they've actually discovered that something people think is good is actually bad. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, all that to say, I really, really loved this book. I thought it was amazingly written, and I looked it up. It is in fact this author's debut book. I can't believe that. So I cannot wait to see what else she comes out with, because this was just so like, wow, this was so good. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It does get very like weird, things get weird. It is definitely upsetting to read at times. Like, there's some things, and that just like parts of it are just so real. And you know, obviously this is a commentary on real life and real life influencers, and also just like the state of the world, particularly in America, and like the patriarchy and all of that. So there's definitely parts that are uncomfortable to read because you're like, ugh. This reminds me of something. So yes, but I highly recommend. If you are worried about the hype, I think the hype is worth it, and I can't wait to see what Carol Claire Burke does in the future. So those are my reading updates, and I haven't started a new audiobook yet, but I have kind of started a new physical book. I haven't had too much time to read the past few days. Yesterday I worked at the smaller branch of our library, but I did work later than usual, so I didn't have to deal with teenagers, thankfully. But whenever I work late, I find I don't read a lot those days, because I always say I'm gonna read before going to work and then I never do, so I need to work on that. But anyways, the next book I started is, what is it called? The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. This is on my summer TBR, and this is queer. And what is the prompt I'm reading this for? Okay, I'm reading this for 9 of Wands, read a book with survival elements. And because this was the 3rd card in my 3-card spread, because this is a book that I own, that I got as a gift, I get double points for this book, because I'm pretty sure this was a gift for Christmas last Christmas, like Christmas 2024. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So this, I am here, okay? I'm on page 18. Also, I don't think I've shown this, but I ordered some of Daijah's bookmarks. She designed some bookmarks for the tarot readathon. Hold on. So this is the Pentacles one. Isn't it so pretty? Oh my god. It's so shiny, hee. And I thought it matched this cover because it's green and the cover is green. I thought it matched. I also got, I don't think I talked about this, but Noelle you can order a tarot reading from Noelle. I don't know if she's still doing it, if it's only for the month of June, but anyways, I ordered one. It was one of the best things I've ever received. I don't really want to give details about my reading, but it was just so good. And Noelle is so like intentional and thoughtful with her analysis of the cards you get, and so highly recommend, if that's still open, to order a tarot reading from her, because it was just so like thoughtful. And I know like I literally ordered it but I was still like, oh my god, this is so, I don't know, it touched me. Okay, I was a bit emotional reading it, so highly recommend that. But yes, I started this. I'm on page 18. The first 18 pages were very confusing. There's simply no way I can tell you what this book is about, so let's read a bit of the back, okay? So it says 2 warriors shepherd an ancient god across a broken land to end the tyrannical reign of a royal family in the standalone epic fantasy from the author of The Vanished Birds. Okay, so the people suffer under the centuries-long rule of the Moon Throne. The royal family, the despotic emperor and his monstrous sons, the 3 terrors, hold the countryside in their choking grip. They bleed the land and oppress the citizens with the frightful powers they inherited from the god locked under their palace. But that god cannot be contained forever. With the aid of June, a guard broken by his guilt-stricken past, and Kima, an outcast fighting for his future, the god escapes from her— so it's a goddess. The god escapes from her royal captivity and flees from her own children, the triplet terrors who would drag her back to her unholy prison. And so it is that she embarks with her young companions on a 5-day pilgrimage in search of freedom, and a way to end the Moon Throne forever. The journey ahead will be more dangerous than any of them could ever have imagined. So, it sounds like it's about survival to me. I can tell you that the writing is very beautiful so far, I just don't really know. I don't really know what's going on, but I guess we'll find out. So I will definitely continue reading this. Hopefully I'll read some tonight. Like I said, I spent all of today editing last week's vlog and I'm a little tired of staring at a screen, so I wouldn't mind getting some reading in. But the night is still young and I have tomorrow off also, and I have a fun day planned tomorrow because I'm hanging out with my bestie and we haven't seen each other in a few weeks, and then she's soon going on vacation. She's going to Europe for a few weeks and I'm gonna miss her, so I'm excited to see her tomorrow. But yeah, so those are all my updates. I finally decided to sit down and tell you everything. So I think for the rest of the evening we're just gonna relax. Today's just been a very relaxing day. We're gonna make some supper and hopefully I get some reading done. So yeah, see you later. You know how many times I go to press the record button and I press the power button by accident? Anyway, hi, it is Sunday and I am here to wrap up this vlog. I don't really have many reading updates because things have been a little hectic lately. Yesterday started out great. I met up with my friend. We went for brunch. We went to her place and rotted. We went to the bookstore. I bought 2 more Myrtle books. Except they didn't have volume 2, which was the one I needed. So I bought volume 3 and another one of the like standalone ones. But I ordered volume 2, so we're gonna wait for that to get here because I have to do them in order, obviously. But yeah, so that was great. And then I went to my mom's for dinner. And it, like, during the day it was raining, and it was raining pretty hard, but not like it was like, whoa, it's raining hard, you know? But then there was thunder, and then it just kept on raining, and it kept raining hard, and it was, I think we ended up getting like 100 millimeters of rain in the span of like 2 or 3 hours at my mom's house, which is the house I just moved out of. I was like looking outside, our street looked like a river, and me and Sean, because Sean was there too, and we were both pretty worried because, as you may know, we live in a basement apartment, and I thought for sure we would have some flooding because it was raining, like it was crazy. And some of the pictures I've seen of some other streets, like the water went up to like the windows of some cars. It was crazy. It ended up, we were trying not to think about it. We did have a nice night at my mom's, and then we got home. Thankfully, nothing flooded. It's all good. And then it rained a lot again today. Definitely not as much as yesterday, but we were still kind of worried because we were both at work today. But I came home. Everything looks fine, I think. I'll feel 100% when Sean comes to inspect everything because he knows this stuff more than I do, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine. So crossing our fingers. So that was a bit of a stressful past like 24 hours, but I'm trying to have a relaxing night now. I did go to work today, even though our library was closed, but I ended up just working in the office all day, which was nice because I actually had work to get done. So I got all my work done. It was a pretty chill day. And in terms of reading, I've read a little bit more of The Spear Cuts Through Water. I think I'm on page like 60 something now, but I don't have any more thoughts yet because I still don't really know what's going on. I'm kind of starting to grasp it. And like my friend, she read it recently and she kept saying like, you'll get it eventually. And I was like, okay, so I'm just trusting her. So I read a bit more of that, but I did start an audiobook. So this was for, which card was this for? So this was for the Queen of Cups. Read a book that you think will move you or make you emotional. So I was looking for something that fit that prompt that was an audiobook because I needed a new one since I finished Yesteryear, and hopefully something queer because you know, the month is coming to an end soon. And I mean, I read queer all year, but I wanted to make sure I was reading for Pride Month. And so one that was available immediately on Libby was Monstrilio by, okay, I'm sure I will pronounce this wrong. Is it Gerardo Samano Cordova? I've heard so many great things about this book. So I started listening to that yesterday and I listened to it a little bit more today on my way home from work. And it is very upsetting. It is about a woman who, at the very beginning of the book, her son dies. I think he was 11. Obviously, she is racked by grief, her and her husband, and in her grief she takes out a part of her son's lung and keeps it with her. She finds it comforting, and then she ends up like feeding it something, and then the lung ends up growing and turns into a monster basically that they call Monstrilio, and it is clearly meant to represent her grief and how she cannot let go of the death of her son. Like, she cannot move on from it. So it's very upsetting, but I didn't know this was queer until I asked my friend and they said it was. So, and now I'm seeing that it is. So very good. So the writing is beautiful, but it's not like, it's very upsetting obviously, but I do love books about grief, as we all know, so I'm enjoying it so far. But also, like, every time I listen to it I'm just kind of like oh it's just upsetting because she's so attached to Monstrilio and you want her to let it go, but like, you understand why, especially if you've experienced grief before. So yeah, it's tough. It's a tough listen, but I'm liking it, I guess. I mean, it's very well written, but I will definitely continue that next week. There goes a third week of the tarot readathon. Did I finish 2 or 3 books this week? I think I only finished 2, but you know, I'm getting my reading mojo back since moving. I'm definitely reading more than I have in the past few months. So, and I'm gonna be sad when the tarot readathon is over because I just love it so much. But yeah, so we'll see what next week brings, but 1 week left. We'll finish it off strong. If you watch till the end, leave the rain emoji, like the cloud with the rain, in honor of all the rain we got. So yes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye.